I guess because I'm sitting here going, I don't think they own the rights to Doctor Who.
They own the
I think they're
American rights for
technically
Doctor Who. They currently own the American rights to Doctor Who, I believe. Anyways, hi everybody. It's Will and Serious Star. Will and Lee with the Geek View, and I decided to start us because it was already 7 o'clock, and I figured probably should go ahead and do that, even though we're mid conversation about something that's not having to do with the topic that I put in the thing. Because
I'm just
let's be honest, we all want to know about Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh yes, and I made the joke of there's some things even Disney won't do because they don't have the rights to do it. Because I'm like,
But
yeah,
like I
they tried to
said,
do Doctor Who. I don't think BBC would let that go.
I think it would be a little complicated because it would be an international release, and since like Disney owns the American rights to Doctor Who, but it would still be complicated because they don't own the rights in any other country, I don't think.
No, BBC still kept the full rights to Doctor Who. I think Disney has the distribution rights for the new stuff because I don't think Disney has the old stuff. Do they?
No, they do not.
So yeah, Disney doesn't even have all the rights. They just have their rights to their most recent episodes to to show them on their stuff. Plus, I think Disney's also technically international. At least I think it is. It's the streaming service. I'm assuming it's in other languages.
Well, so the thing about streaming services is all of them have different rights in different countries. That's why so many people like kind of go off on how you need VPNs and whatnot.
So you get the everything that's available through
Yeah,
for the whole planet. like
basically.
so you're like, oh yeah, Disney in America has these things, but Disney in China has these things.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much that whole thing right
It's
there.
like it's all the same website. Yeah, just different access to different regions.
Basically, it's different rights in different regions or something like that. I don't know all of the ins and outs of that because when it comes to businesses, I really don't like big businesses.
uh, I
All
think
right,
you I think your like a business that stops at a mom and pop store
I I
once it
do
gets
I do
in
like
the
mom and pop stores. I just hate that I can't really afford to shop at them most of the time.
yeah, yeah, that's fair. But yeah, think your light for store stop at a mom and pop, and
Like
once it gets big
I
like
would
that,
I would absolutely love to be able to like go to mom and pop stores on a regular. Um anyways, oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4. I was going to check up on some stuff on that. Let me go ahead and set up some monkeys to do some stuff so I can go ahead and press start on that while I do that. Kingdom Hearts 4. Alright. So it's currently looking at PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Series S.
like I said, I have this strong feeling when it comes out, it's gonna technically be for the PlayStation 6.
Well, we'll find out. Everything we know so far. When was this updated? This was updated 4 days ago.
Not bad.
For those
Not
of
bad.
you watching this on YouTube later, that's December 12th. Alright, let's see. Let's go ahead and I want my little tack tower here, or my little thing right here. What's it called? Spike factory. That's what that's the word I'm looking for. Before I do anything else, I want my little spike factory. I like spike factory. Oh my lord, I don't think I can survive long enough for the spike factory. Alright, anyways. Everything we know. So release date speculation. What? How can you speculate? So speculation apparently has the release date in 2026. Platforms. Eventually, of course, they're gonna put it on PC, just like the other Kingdom Hearts games that they've thrown on Steam. But it's going to initially start on the consoles.
Of course, consoles get them.
So PS5, Xbox Series X. There is indeed a trailer, but it doesn't. It's not a big trailer. It shows like a few things. I don't even think it shows any of the worlds really.
I was gonna say
it shows like one world if it's the same trailer that I'm thinking of.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it what you call town? That Trevor's town?
No, it's a new one. It looks very similar to like the real world. Like
okay.
it's like a city like New York almost.
All right.
And
yeah, I'm
like in the trailer, Sora like wakes up, and then that giant Heartless that you fight during the you know, the intro part in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Second game too, I think, actually. Come to think of it.
But yeah.
But yeah,
when I thought about it, I realized there are two IPs that they can shove in Kingdom Hearts 4 that they really should, and if they don't, I'm like, why'd you drop the ball?
Okay, here we are. Kingdom Hearts 4 Worlds. All we know so far is Quadratum. Quadratum is one of them. That's the city, I think.
Okay.
So essentially, what we know so far is that there's a new character. It's a story that's gonna follow the lost master, which if you didn't play through Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, then you would not know crap about that.
Which means that they're either gonna have to come out with a remix of that, or
funny you should mention that.
Oh no.
Now a while back they released Kingdom Hearts 2.8. Okay?
Yep, I remember.
In 2.8, one of the things that they did was they made it to where you could you actually had the ability to basically watch all of the cutscenes from the mobile game up to a certain point, which was the current release of where it was.
I also think in 2.8, weren't you able to see some of the cutscenes from Birth by Sleep? I think it was called.
No, Birth by Sleep was in the Kingdom Hearts 2.5, 1.5. They put it. You could play the entire Birth by Sleep game in one of those two. I love how we were going to talk about Skeleton Crew, but for like the past 10 minutes we've been talking about Kingdom Hearts. But I mean, there is, to be fair, like one of the reasons we started talking about it was because of the fact that we were wondering if they're gonna throw Star Wars into the Kingdom Hearts universe.
Yeah, it was the two IPs with Star Wars, and I think honestly, it's Marvel. It's
Yeah, for real.
it's the no brainers. It's like honestly, you have Sora meeting up with Iron Man, and on Sora meeting up with like Yoda. Just
I
it,
mean,
it
just the
makes
fact. Sorry, sorry. Go on.
like I said, it just makes the most sense.
I mean, just the fact that, in all honesty, if you switch the Keyblade for a lightsaber, and instead of talking about hearts, talk about the Force,
Yeah,
it's the exact same thing.
I could say Yoda would look at him and go, "Oh, oh, I understand perfectly. I replace all the words with my words, and everything that you said is true.
Mm-hmm.
I understand all your magic and everything that you're doing, and I can probably teach you something."
Yeah, for real.
Who's Yoda? Nah, it'd be that one moment in that universe where I kind of probably look at Riku and go, I'm not sure. Uh, I have doubts about that. You may want to get him out this world, this universe.
I just realized I forgot to turn your mic up a bit from where I usually have it. Because usually I have the mic that you're on is recording the game sounds.
Okay. But
Oh.
yeah, I thought about it. And I'm like, that makes the most sense, and Marvel Universe also makes the most sense, and so expansive. Especially in in like a New York setting where the game left off. Like
Mm-hmm.
all it's missing is like an Avengers Tower in the background. Of course, that would have just gave away everything.
No, of course, something that could happen pretty easily. Ah, shoot. No.
Come on.
I was not paying attention and I lost a bunch of lives. It's all good. It's all good. I'll get them back. I'll get them back soon.
uh,
But I might want to strengthen my defenses. I was just trying to get to where I could have the banana farm be situated already.
oh.
Yeah, that did not work. That didn't help at all.
All right.
Alright, I just spent all my money on upgrading, so
Here goes
let's hope this helps. But yeah, pretty much just like there's a lot of things they can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and more than likely they're going to pander.
Of course.
Oh, thank you, baby Alexis, for following.
Got another follower, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
So, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get over to our actual topic, which is Skeleton Crew.
All right.
So yeah, I've watched Skeleton Crew up to where it currently is.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, today's recording is going out right, the day before the next episode is supposed to be released. So I will not have any spoilers for that. So don't worry if you're watching this on YouTube tomorrow. But if you haven't seen up to episode 3, then yeah, there's gonna be spoilers.
I think when you make the title for this, they will understand that, yeah, there's spoilers.
Yeah, you never know with people. So essentially, Skeleton Crew so the premise of Skeleton Crew is it's a few kids, ragtag team of misfit kids, even though only 2 of them are really misfits. Really, only one of them's a misfit, if we're being perfectly honest.
What? Okay, so what are the kids? Describe the kids.
Alright, so you have the one kid who is, for lack of a better term, he is our Luke Skywalker.
So he's the star of the show. He's the...
Like, all 4 of them are the stars of the show. Okay? Not one of them is higher than any of the others. When I call him the Luke Skywalker kid, I mean in terms of he wants adventure. He wants to go on an adventure. He thinks that his current place is too boring. And he winds up getting in more trouble than he should if he was actually listening to people.
Oh yeah, good old call to adventure kid.
Mm-hmm.
He still sounds like the main character of the story, because if he weren't there, sounds like a lot of this wouldn't happen.
Yeah, very, very true.
So I'm sorry, still sound like the main character.
But all 4 of them are main characters. 2 of them are two of them have more main character energy than the other 2. Okay.
All right.
Because you have him. Then you have the girl. Her name is... Oh, his name is Win. His name is Win. I'm gonna pull up their names because I've only watched each episode 1 time so far.
All right.
So even though I probably will remember like the story itself,
yeah,
I am probably going to like forget names.
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna keep this up for a minute while I go through the characters. While I go through the kids.
His name is just Win.
It's Whim. I was slightly off there. Whim with an M.
Whim. Okay.
Yeah, I was slightly off there. Just give me characters. God, what in the world? Alright. So Fern, she is the other character that sort of has the main character energy.
Okay. What's that character?
So she is the troublemaker. Like, for real. The legit troublemaker.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright.
Like, when you see her for the first time, Wim just got on the school bus, which... Okay, I'm gonna gush for a little bit about this whole thing. Okay, so... in the Star Wars universe, we always see, like, either the super futuristic planets that are made... It's an entire planet that's actually a city. Or you see the grunge style of setting, like Cloud City and whatnot, or Tatooine, you know?
Yeah, those are the main places where everything happens.
All right.
Those are the cities.
So the place where they live is called At-Aten. All right.
Okay.
This is a freaking Star Wars version of Leave It to Beaver neighborhood or city.
Really?
So it's like everything is still Star Wars, you know? Like,
Okay.
there are speeders, but to put this in perspective, Wim's speeder has the little streamers on the handlebars.
Oh God.
Like it's a bicycle.
Is this a suburban planet?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Why in my brain does my why does it in my brain when I think about this go, oh God, they actually have a suburb planet. We've seen the royal planets. We've seen the the hopping cities with the Jedi temples at one point, and then
and we've even seen Jack Black's and
that.
God dang it, I'm forgetting her name. She's a really good flute player. Why am I forgetting her name?
I forgot it myself at this point. But yeah, we've seen his planet too. And now we get the actual suburbia.
Lizzo, that's the name I'm trying to remember. So we've seen their planet, and it's like all sorts of just wild, you know. But yeah, this is like a suburban planet. They're going to school. I will say, when I was first watching it, it was like I was thinking it's very what's that? The utopian future.
Gotcha.
Because these kids, they can't be older than like 12 or 13, right?
I was gonna say, is it teenagers or are we talking about 10-year-olds?
I'm pretty sure they're like 12 or something.
Did it say what kind of school they were going to? Like did it have?
No, I mean that's the thing that I'm about to get to. That's the thing I'm about to get to here. It's like when I say utopian society, it's like, you know how in like all those utopian books where it's like stuff is going on. I have not been doing anything with the game for a minute.
Yeah.
It was just like sitting there, just like on a thing. But yeah, you know, like they, whenever they do like the utopian society, it's like sure, it's utopian society, but you know,
yeah,
you sacrifice your freedom. It's like, you know, like in Demolition Man, right? You sacrifice your freedoms for the utopia.
Yeah, I could say in most utopian, societies in books and movies in general, there's always a bad part. The only utopian society, even with stuff like Star Trek, there's still a bad part.
So, with this place, it's like, these kids who are like 12 or like 11 or 12, maybe 13. Maybe I will give a maybe to 13. Okay.
Okay.
They are getting ready to take a test that is essentially supposed to decide what their path is going to be.
Oh, a career aptitude test.
Not just a career aptitude test. It is a, like, you know, in Futurama, you get the prank that decides what kind of job you get.
Oh God,
it's very like, the way it sort of sounds is kind of like that, where it's like, once you do this, you find out what job you are going to be good for, and in order to make sure that you help keep our society moving forward, you will do said job, or at least one of the jobs that it says you are good for.
Oh yes.
If you do not do that, then you know,
you're not part of society.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everyone in their place and all cards in the in the machine. Yeah. I see that as an empire thing being how they would do this.
But that's the thing. Like, as you start listening to some of this stuff, they talk about how they're part of the Republic, and they also talk about this barrier, right? So, let me go back to describing the kids right quick, so that I can go ahead and get that out of the way.
Yep.
All right. So Wim, he longs for adventure.
Yes. Standard protagonist.
Yeah. And his dad is like an analyst or something. I don't know.
I was gonna say, the parents most of the time either don't matter.
Oh no, it matters, because the parents in this they're going to be very big, because essentially, I'll get to it in a little bit. There's like a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like I'm gonna like every single time you ask a question, I'm like gonna get sidetracked on it if I don't watch myself.
That's the whole point, man.
But it's like that whole thing of like, I'm gonna get to some of this stuff later, but I need to do this other stuff first. So, basically their parents all have particular jobs. Fern's mom is like, one of the leader type people, like administrative people. And she is completely just wild and stuff, because like she does not want to follow that path. She does not want to be the perfect little angel that her mom thinks that she is.
Good old rebellious face.
You find out that she races speeders and whatnot.
I always gotta have that one character that does that.
And
racing fans of Star Wars.
You don't actually get to see the race. You just hear that she does it, and you see that she's working on her bike, and something is messed up on her bike, and all that stuff, right?
Oh, the mechanic. Gotcha.
No, KB's the mechanic. I'll get to her in a minute.
Oh my god.
KB is my favorite. I think she's supposed to be everyone's favorite because she's level-headed and super smart.
Okay.
So I kind of feel like she's supposed to be your favorite.
All right.
If you think rationally.
So basically, she's the favorite for all the adults watching this.
Pretty much.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Fern's mom is an administrator. Fern is really good at school. Like, she's really good at her schooling. Okay?
Okay.
Like, she's apparently top of her class and stuff. Like, even to the point that she was given some sort of badge or something,
Basically, valedictorian or whatever they have in Star Wars universe.
So, like, she just does not want to be all that, and she's a compulsive liar. She's the one that plays pranks on the two boys.
Okay.
Her best friend KB is just like, you could be nicer. And she's just like, but why should I? And so it's just like essentially I would say that for the typical boy in that same age range, they are going to really dislike Fern.
And so far, from how you've been describing everything. During the Empire?
So what?
I said it's during the Empire, after the Empire.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that. Because they are trying to, they work for the Republic. Like, that, their colony is the Republic colony. Okay, you find that out very quickly, all that stuff. You know about Jedi, like, they know about Jedis and whatnot.
Okay.
So Wim. Oh no, I was gonna get to the other two. All right, so yeah, KB. So when I was like watching the trailers and stuff, I was not sure if KB was like a cyborg or an android or something like that because she has like this visor on her face, and I wasn't sure if maybe they were like bringing in their own little Geordie LaForge or something.
Okay.
So the visor is essentially her computer.
Okay.
Okay, she basically has like Oculus or what's that new Apple product? The Apple's version of the Oculus. So she basically has that at all times, and she's able to like access computer systems with it, and it brings up schematics for things like, you know, she is super smart. All right. She is definitely the mechanic of the crew. When it gets later in the thing, I have no doubt that she is essentially going to be the mechanic.
Okay.
So, and like I said, she's a lot more level-headed than her friend Fern. She still goes along with a lot of Fern's, you know, things. Because, you know, that's how people do. They go along with their best friend. That's what our other character does as well. Because our other character is Neil.
Okay.
And he's that character. He's from the race. Like, so the Wim, Fern, and KB are all human.
Okay.
He's the only one that's not human.
All right. So he's an alien race. Okay.
He is one of those elephant people, like the guy from the Mos Eisley Band.
Oh, okay.
So Neil loves hanging out with Wim. He is definitely a follower. He is smart, but it's very much like a Max and PJ situation.
Every protagonist needs their sidekick.
So, I feel like I need to be doing more on this thing. I'm sure anyone that enjoys playing this game is just like watching me play this and just like, why are you doing it like this? And I'm just like, because I'm only half paying attention because I'm talking about Star Wars. So yeah, Neil, he is smart, but not like overly smart that he's like a normal level of smart, you know?
Okay.
Whereas like he does well on his exams, he does well on his stuff, and it's because he follows the rules, you know?
Gotcha. He's a rule follower.
So the only time that he doesn't follow the rules is if Wim is trying to get him to do something else.
Pretty much if Wim would be Bart and he would be, what's Bart's friend called with the glasses?
Millhouse.
Millhouse. Yeah, he'll be a Millhouse.
Yeah, kinda. I like the Max and PJ one though. PJ reference because it seems a lot more on brand with it. Because Wim's not like a bad kid like Bart is, you know. Because like Max is adventurous and gets into trouble, but it's not like his ultimate goal. He doesn't go out intending to get into trouble. He just gets wrapped up, you know.
Okay, so
and PJ comes along with them.
Okay, so this kid didn't intentionally decide to do anything. is it just he got caught up in something else that someone else decided to do? Gotcha.
So basically, the start of the story, you get to meet all 4 kids briefly.
Mm-hmm.
You see Wim. You're kind of following Wim. He's like, it's
Uh-huh.
very Treasure Planet with Wim. You know, he's like playing with his action figures, reading stories of Jedi and whatnot.
Gotcha.
And he talks. His dad is like, make sure you do well with your school stuff. I won't be around too much this week. And which basically means you have to make sure you get yourself up, and you have to get to school or you have to get to the bus on time. You know, you're responsible for all of that this time, because I'm not gonna be able to be around too much this week. I'll see you in the evenings, but in the morning I have to leave before you. So
Latchkey kid. Gotcha.
so essentially, at that point, if you know anything about stories that involve children, you know that he's gonna wind up being late at some point, you know?
Yes, like I said, latchkey kid. He may or may not get there. Whatever.
So he gets on the bus, he starts going towards the bus, and then you meet Neil, and you see their little thing. They're the kids who still enjoy doing kid stuff, even though all the other kids are like, you guys are babies, you know?
Gotcha. The whole grew up.
Yeah. So, let's see. I'm gonna put this guy here. So they like start pretending to have a lightsaber duel and stuff and whatnot. And anyways, they get on the bus, and then you see Fern and KB just zoom in on Fern's speeder, and they just drop off the edge of the road into a forested area. This will be important later.
Okay.
And then, you know, they still get to school on time, and Wim's all like, oh my god, that was so cool. You know?
Okay.
But, you know, since it's girls, he obviously doesn't say that out loud, because girls, ew. That's one of the other reasons why I'm thinking, like, 11, you know?
I'm sitting here going, I really can't figure out their ages, because I'm like, okay, the other kids are calling them babies. I'm like, okay, so they have to be 10 or older. Then he like, okay, girls are still you, so okay, so they're not 14 or 13 just yet.
Yeah.
So they're either all 11 or 12.
So anyway, to get to school, you find out about the career test and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, you hear Wim is like, I want to be someone who protects people, and the droid, or the droid teacher is just like, well, that's what we have protect droids for. Why would you need to do anything? That's just silly. And then later on, Neil's just like, I can't believe you told everyone you wanted to be a Jedi. And he was like, I didn't say I wanted to be a Jedi. We knew what you meant. And it's just like, and he did not argue with that. He's like, okay, that's fair.
I'm sorry, but this Star Wars, I think some people still do
Yeah, I
patrols.
mean, but yeah,
The people
that,
still
but
do some of it.
that is very important that it is seen as weird that he wants to do something that a droid would do because um it wouldn't make sense for a human to do that. I do want you to remember this.
Okay.
All right, so basically the next day, well, he stays up late reading a book and he's late for the bus.
All right.
So he gets on his little speeder that has the little streamers on the side. And I'm just like, oh my god, that's adorable. I can't believe that they did this, and it's absolutely wonderful. There is a suburban Star Wars planet.
All right.
And, of course, he saw some girls take that shortcut the other day.
So he follows. Gotcha.
So he tries to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
He does not do as well as the girls did.
Fair.
And he crashes into a ditch. And one of the protect droids finds him, but not before he finds something else. An entrance, a metal door of some sort. He has to dig it out so that later on, so that he can get into the Jedi Temple.
Okay. All right then. Well.
So he of course gets in trouble.
Of course.
His dad, who is pretty high-ranking person in the government, or at least high enough ranking to where his concerns are not immediately just tossed out, because he was able to get his son a retake of the test.
Wait, he's able to full screen.
So
okay.
That means tonight you have to study, nothing else. No stories, no going out, just study. Okay? This is going to be your entire life here. So you have to take this seriously. Do not do anything except for study tonight. Do you understand me, son? Good. Now I'm going to be out for most of the rest of the night, but I'll see you when I get home towards your bedtime, where I'm sure you will be in bed and not at all trying to find a Jedi temple.
One of those moments you just sit there in a story and you go, okay, you're punishing your kid, but you're not staying home to make sure the kid is being punished, and you're going. So you're not punishing your kid, and your kid's just doing whatever they want. Fine.
So obviously, Wim goes to get Neil, and they go to... Oh, I forgot to mention. When Wim was trying to get out of being in trouble, he was trying to tell his dad about the Jedi Temple that he found. Fern was also in trouble and waiting to go into the principal's office, or the headmaster's office. So she overheard this. And before Wim's dad came out of the office, they already established that Wim and Fern now do not like each other. They just met, but they do not like each other now.
Okay.
To be fair, Wim is not liking the fact that Fern lies to him all the time.
Okay. That's a fair statement.
So anyways, Fern overhears about the Jedi Temple. Fern and KB have a lot less, restrictions on them. So they go ahead and go to the place, and they start uncovering it already. Then they hear the boys coming, and they hide in the bushes, and they start, Fern plays a little prank on them, or rather gets KB to play a prank on them. And,
okay.
just as It's just a way to kind of help let you know who these kids are. You know?
Okay.
Because, you know, we're still introducing all the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, they come up with a deal where the boys are gonna help with the digging up of the door and whatnot. And they eventually manage to uncover the door enough to be so that KB can get to a control panel and get it open. And then Wim's dad is coming looking for him, obviously, because he's a good father for the most part. He just is busy.
One of those moments of, I got home, looked in your room, you weren't there.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes out looking for him. He finds his speeder, or he finds his helmet, but not him. So naturally, he's even more concerned. But because Wim was not supposed to come out, Wim is not going to reveal himself.
Of course.
And instead, they go deeper into the thing because, you know,
hiding.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
And one thing leads to another. Fern is very, very bossy, but also correct. So it's one of those things of like, she probably could have said it a little nicer because she has already not come off as a good person to this other child.
Mm-hmm.
But that's her character, so she likes, you know, she likes talking with girls. She does not like talking with boys. She thinks boys are gross and stupid. You know, the whole standard statement of girls rule, boys drool type of thing. It's a very standard way of doing things.
I would say, again, leading me to go 11, 12, one of those ages.
So yeah, she tells him not to touch anything. Well, at one point in time, there's a flashing button, and he touches something.
Uh-huh.
And then the ship takes off into orbit. Not before Wim's dad gets to see Wim and try to help them get off, but because the ship is rising, it's too dangerous, and they don't get off.
Why do I think Bart Simpson has done something like this, where he literally just walked up into a spaceship and pushed the button to launch it?
Yeah. It sounds like it's something Bart would do. So, yeah, they wind up going into orbit, which breaks through this barrier that was there, and it is illegal to break through the barrier. This will be important later. And then when they get into orbit, it automatically goes into hyperdrive.
Wait.
It is on autopilot, and it goes into hyperdrive.
They really don't make ships like they used to. Like, the older it is, the more awesome it is to last as long as hell.
So yeah, I think that's about when the first episode ended.
All right, that covers episode 1. Oh.
So mainly, it took a while to say all that because I kept getting distracted with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was pretty much episode 1.
Gotcha.
Episode 2, I don't know. At some point during one of these two episodes, you meet the droid that's on the ship,
Okay.
and the
Whatever,
droid is like, "What are you doing here, Captain? We are stowaways." And you know, the captain's been dead for 1,000 years.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, no captain to speak of. So, Fern manages to manipulate her way into claiming captainhood and now has control of the droid. With the boys and KB as her crew.
All right then.
Oh yeah. The droid takes them. The droid says, well, for one, the droid has no recollection of where they were. And I know I referenced Treasure Planet once already.
Uh-huh.
I will likely reference it a few more times before we're done tonight.
Oh wow. Okay, so
Because
they borrowed that much.
well, to be fair, they own Treasure. They have they're the ones that made Treasure Planet.
Yeah, like I said, I understand they borrowed that much. It's an easy formula. It works. Treasure Planet with a Star Wars skin. It's fine.
So, so he says we can go to a spaceport that I know of nearby. Someone there will surely be able to get us to where you come from. The spaceport nearby that this robot knows of happens to be a pirate outpost.
Well, you know, the way that the robot was talking, it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it really does. So they go to the spaceport, which is a pirate port.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, they figure out that it's a pirate port. As they're trying to leave, of course. Oh, so the reason. Okay, I'm like skipping a bunch of stuff. Okay, so the boys decide to go and try and find something to eat because they haven't eaten in a while. And they figure they can like talk to people and find out about some stuff while they eat, right?
Uh-huh.
So they pay with the money that Wim has.
Let me guess. Everybody knows what the F is this.
Oh no, they know what it is. They go, "What are you doing with Old Republic credits?" I did say Old Republic credits. Now, to let you know where this takes place in the Star Wars canon, because they let us know at the very beginning in the first episode that this does indeed take place after the fall of the Empire and during the rise of the New Republic. These are Old Republic credits. They've been on this planet that has this barrier. Aten is essentially a planet that was hidden for purposes to protect something, which we're going to find out later in the series. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of figured that something was wrong
Yeah,
when
it's
number one, they knew about Jedi's, and I'm just sitting there going, okay, so this must be real late after all the Jedi stuff happened, right?
well, to be
No.
fair, in the New Republic era, there were stories about Luke Skywalker, and the people
Yes.
that Wim was the action figures that Wim was playing with during the first episode could easily have been Luke and Darth Vader.
Okay. All
Okay,
right. Okay.
so up until this point, we really have not had any definitive proof that this could be, that this could be this. But yeah, excuse me. At this point, we do find out that yes, this planet was hidden at some point during the Old Republic. And it has been hidden so well that not even the Empire knew about it. And when they say the name of their planet to try and get some people to help them find a way home, you remember how I keep bringing up Treasure Planet? At-Atten's a myth. It's a planet of treasure. You can't be from At-Atten. But we are from At-Atten, says the child to the pirates.
Oh my god. Oh my god, no. They're like, okay, where do you live, little boy? I live at Fort Knox. What? Yeah, I live at Fort Knox. You're seriously telling me you live at the place where all the gold is? Yes. I don't think there's gold there, but
Now
I live.
later on, the kids are like talking, and they're just like, "So, what if there is something on At-Atten that is super valuable for some reason?" I mean, the adults are very ambiguous about what they do. Like, what does your mom do? What do your parents do? Well, they're analysts. What are they analyzing? I don't know. Things that need to be analyzed?
I love it. Vague job descriptions.
Speaking of the planet and the parents all are together trying to comfort each other.
Of course.
And the droid that's with the administration is telling them that since the children went out of the barrier, they performed an illegal action, and therefore there is nothing that we can do.
The standard answer of the robots to go, they're gone. What? Yeah, they're gone.
So, and then the administration is not going to pursue anything anymore, and the head person, whoever's in charge, I forget what they called her, is not going to see your case. So the administrator person, Fern's mom, is like, I will get us a meeting with that administrator, and we will figure this out, and we will get our kids back. You know, all that hopeful talk.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, you see something some wheels turning in Wim's dad's head when that happens.
Okay.
So his dad is thinking of something. Like, he is coming up with an idea.
Gotcha.
So it'll be an interesting idea, since he seems to be just a pencil pusher.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, back to the kids. They get thrown in the brig because the person in charge of that place does not fully believe them.
Of course.
They get thrown in the brig, and that's when they meet Jude Law's character. I forget his name right
Gotcha.
now. He calls himself Jad Nanawud. That's not his real name. Or it
Gotcha.
is his real name, and he's been telling other people his fake name. I don't know. One of those two.
Yeah.
Because that's not who he is. And anyone that watched this so far, at the very beginning, there was a giant pirate raid, and you didn't see the face of the person. You didn't see the face of the person who was the captain, but you heard that he had an accent, and you also know that the crew turned against him when he screwed up a big haul, or something that was supposed to be a big haul, and it turned out to just be one singular credit. A lot of people died
Okay.
for one credit. So his crew is not happy with him,
Of course.
and they turn against him.
Of course.
And now this person who has an accent is meeting these children in the brig at the pirate colony that is being run by the person who was the first mate of the captain who was betrayed. So,
Yeah.
wonder
yeah.
who this guy could be.
Yeah, exactly. Who could it be?
Now, he does seem to have some force sensitivity.
Okay.
This
That's
might
that can happen.
this might be a trick. It might be a trick. It's one of
Yep.
those we don't know for sure yet, because it definitely looked like he floated the key to them.
Was it one of those moments where they were talking about Jedi's and he realized this is my way in with them?
I can't remember. I don't think so. But they were trying to figure out how to get the keys, and
Yeah.
he had the ability to get the keys, whether it was whether it was some sort of sleight of hand trick or whether he actually used the Force. Don't know 100%,
Yep.
But he got the keys. He helped them escape. He got their robot back. And the only one that 100% trusts him without any sort of doubt at all is Wim, because Wim saw the Jedi magic trick and is instantly like, he's a Jedi. They're sworn to protect people and uphold justice. Yeah, everyone else is like even Neil is just sort of like, I don't know, Wim, but I'm not gonna argue with you because I'm a follower. He doesn't say that exactly, but that's basically what it is. I love Neil. I love Neil. He's adorable. Like, I don't mean to put him down so much.
He's Wheelhouse. That's it.
Like, Neil is absolutely adorable. I love him to death. I would kill people for him.
Come on.
But he's also very weak-willed.
I could say he has this from what you described. This is a kid that actually has no spine.
No,
He
he
may
really
actually-
doesn't.
No spine as an alien race.
I know. He has he's an elephant type person. So he has a
Alright.
spine. He's just a coward.
Oh my god.
Mainly he's a coward. Like, he is a coward for the most part, but it's like you kind of understand him because he's like 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense for him to be afraid of all this stuff.
Yes.
And it's
yes.
it's less sense. It's like less much. It makes less sense that the other kids are just taking a lot of this in stride.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, the way this has been described, it's like the kid that I'm just at this point in my brain going sound like the protagonist. It's literally going adventure, and I'm just like, okay, he's gonna get them all.
Like I
killed.
said, Fern and Wim are both the protagonists in my opinion. It's basically like the one that you call your protagonist is going to be whichever one of those two you like best. Okay, because even if you like KB and Neil more, you know that neither of them is the protagonist.
Yeah, they're both sidekicks. The way you describe them, they're both sidekicks.
So, like, it's just that whole thing of just like neither one of them is the protagonist. So you pretty much choose the protagonist yourself. It's a choose your own protagonist adventure.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So whichever one you like best is the protagonist, or if you feel the protagonist is the one that's going to just purposely push the story in certain directions, and that's who it is, even if you don't like that person, then you pick whichever one is doing that more for you, you know? Because at the moment, it's like Fern is trying to get them home.
Okay.
But there are plenty of signals that say that Wim would rather not go back home.
Yeah. Like I said, adventure. He is the adventure one. She is on the journey back home. So more reasonable. Actually makes sense.
But yeah, so they of course get into a starship battle because it would not be a Star Wars production if there was not a Star Wars or Star Battle. That's it's called Star Wars. So, but that happens in the 3rd episode, I believe.
Okay.
Now that I'm thinking of it, I think the 1st episode actually ended with meeting Jude Law's character.
Okay.
I may have had that a little bit off. Because if there's only been 3 episodes, which I'm pretty positive there's only been 3 episodes so far, then that means the 1st episode was them going to the pirate place and getting put in the brig, and the 2nd episode was them escaping the pirate place. Something to that extent. Anyways.
Yeah.
Then, the most recent episode, you got to meet the most adorable alien race since the Ewoks. Okay? I don't know what kind of alien race this was, but she was a freaking owlkin.
Okay.
And she's super smart, and she loves talking about stars and star systems and planets. She loves learning about all that stuff. And she also tries to help the kids. But the kids are not like... It's one of those things where it's like, she tries to help the kids, but Jude Law's character does stuff that make it to where the kids have to make a quick choice. And it's one of those things of like, he has the way to get home, and he just blasted the computer that found the way to get home. Meaning that he has our only way home right now. So they have to make that choice of, are we going with him, who we now just found out is definitely a pirate, and apparently is a pirate that is like everyone freaking hates.
Incoming.
And when I say everyone, I mean freaking everyone hates him.
Fair enough.
This Owlkin hates him. Like, the pirates at the pirate port hate him. He's wanted by the Republic.
You know who reminds me of? Remember that character and what was it called? The one with what anime was that? What Star Wars animation was that? Which one was it? The let's see. I can't remember his name. But it's the pirate that
was it Hondo or something?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Hondo.
the pirate that everyone that meets him either extremely hates him, or mostly hate.
Yeah.
It's mostly hate.
Yeah, I know. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's Hondo.
Yeah. This one, he's a little more charming. Like, it would be sort of like Hondo's reputation with Han Solo's charm.
Okay, that's an interesting combination.
And apparently force sensitivity. So, got a pretty big package here.
You sit there and go, okay, how did he F this up? How is he charming enough to actually get into these places and then F's it up so much that everyone hates him and he leaves with no friends?
But, so yeah, they do the battle, and Fern and KB and even Wim and Neil all unite when they decide that they are going to get, I think I won't. So the name that he was giving to other people was Jack. I want to say like Red Jack or something like that.
Okay.
Like I said, I only watched it once so far, so I forget some of the details. But they basically force him to agree to be essentially their underling for the duration of the trip. And he agrees because otherwise, well, Fern's the captain, if you remember, and the droid follows the captain's orders, so if the captain says tear this guy's arms off, well, the droid has to tear the guy's arms off.
Okay, I was about to ask, is this droid actually battle capable, or this is one of those
This
droid
took on an entire pirate port and did not do half bad.
Okay, all right. So battle capable droid, not just driving this vehicle droid.
He even has like little shields that he can pull out that are able to defend against blaster shots.
So a battle droid.
Yeah.
Okay then. Yeah, you gotta listen to the kids now, cause you have to.
So yeah, if he basically, like, he recognizes that if he tries to go anywhere on that ship without Fern, that droid is gonna kill him.
Mm-hmm.
He mainly recognizes this because the droid all but told him that.
That's fair.
So yeah. Essentially, they get into a fight with a couple X-Wings. The kids manage to defend against the X-Wings. But, they don't actually, like, kill anyone or anything like that. And the X-Wings were not trying to take the ship down. They were trying to take the ship down in a way that would not destroy the ship, basically.
So basically,
Because they didn't want to hurt the kids.
They're trying to shoot the engines. Yeah.
And the kids were not trying to kill the X-Wing pilots. They were just trying to make it to where they could escape. So it was a very high stakes, low stakes battle, because it's like, it's high stakes in the sense of like, you know, each of them had their goals and they were not allowed to hurt the other ones, really, like whether it be moral decision or because you're the good guys. And then, of course, because of that, it made it to where it's also low stakes because both ships basically knew that they were not going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
But they managed to go into hyperspace, and they have coordinates to get to the place, to, you know, their home, and Jack is planning on, you know, delivering them back home and receiving a healthy reward for his efforts. You know?
Uh-huh.
And he is very upfront with them about that. He told them that.
Yes. Yes. Literally, I see him in my head going, yep, I brought your kids home. Now, where's my money?
So, but yeah, like I said, it's a fun show. It is definitely not the normal Star Wars show.
Yeah, from the sounds of it, family-oriented show.
Yeah, it is just a family-oriented show, and I do enjoy it. I would love it if my children were at the point where they would be willing to enjoy it as well. But my oldest, you know, he's into his own stuff, so... And I don't, like, he's never really shown that much interest in Star Wars.
I don't think he's a fan of the franchise.
And my youngest is still too young to really enjoy any of that. I've tried getting him interested in Star Wars, but he's still just a little too young.
Yep.
To really enjoy it. I put Rebels on while we're hanging out and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I put episode 1 on a few times when we're hanging out with each other, and I put episode 4 and 5 on before. Okay. And I think I've also put Clone Wars on before.
Okay.
But yeah, for the most part, he hasn't really been too interested in it.
Fair enough.
But he also still just in that age range where, you know, he's into Spidey. He's into Spidey and Friends, you know?
Okay.
He's into Spidey and Friends.
More of a Marvel kid. Gotcha.
Not even that, just Spidey and Friends, Paw Patrol, just the children's superhero shows.
Okay. Specifically children oriented stuff still. Gotcha.
So I'm hoping to get him into a lot of the things that I could never get my oldest into, like board games and card games and Star Wars. In the end, it's gonna be whatever he chooses, of course, because I'm not gonna like be upset if he goes a different route. I mean, it's not like my oldest and I don't have things that we enjoy talking about. We talk about Dragon Ball, we talk about anime, we talk about video games. You know, he even likes Marvel, so you know. Disappointed that he didn't tell me until he had like watched almost all the movies without me being there with him to watch him watch them. Because you know that's like the second favorite thing for a fan to do: watch somebody else watch their fandom and get totally drawn in by it. But you know that's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
But yeah, anyways. I don't know if I missed anything there. Do you have any questions or anything that you want to talk about with that?
Let's see now. What were the questions I had before? Uh, Trying to remember them. Okay. Does it actually say what time period it is again? Because
Okay, so it is after the fall of the Empire. I know that.
okay, but
And
is
it
it
is during the time of the New Republic. I
okay?
believe it's before the First Order.
Okay, so it's in that in between time. All right, so it is still in the same time period
Yeah,
that a
that
lot of
like
the other spin-offs are happening.
yeah, I want to say when I looked it up online before it started, it said
Mhm.
it took place very close to the Mandalorian.
Gotcha. That's what my main concern was. I'm like, yeah, that's the one that I'm like, it fits the most for that to show up. Especially, when you're gonna compare mascots, you can literally compare the owl person that you just described to Baby Yoda
Oh
and
no,
see who
no,
wins.
not at all, not at all. The Owlkin is like a legit character. It's more, if you want to talk about the Owlkin compared to someone in the Mandalorian, she would be closer to like, those guys, those little guys that repaired, um, forget his name, the assassin droid and turned him into like a mech.
Oh,
She would be closer compared to those guys
okay,
because like she's adorable, but she is like a legit adult.
okay, all right, all right.
So yeah. Um Honestly, the closest thing they have to the Baby Yoda style cuteness for this show isn't
Mhm.
really a cuteness thing. It's more of just a growing on you because it's strange. So the pirate robot, when they first met this pirate robot, before the pirate robot was up and about,
Mhm.
Neil was looking at the robot and saw something moving inside one of its eye joint on one side of that side of one of its eye sockets. Because it only had one eye, the other one was empty. But something was moving inside it, and he looked closer, and a space rat jumped out of it. Since that happened, the space rat has since become a traveling companion of theirs, and it always seems to find its way back to the droid's eye socket at some point.
So the robot, instead of having a parrot, has a gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And it
Okay.
so like that's because like in all seriousness, they've got 4 children. That's the adorable part of the show. So you have to have something strange that you eventually start thinking is cute as the cute thing because you can't increase cuteness after you have 4 children, 4 literal children, you know.
Fair enough.
So um
I'll just sit here going, all right, so just you know, little merchandising opportunity, you know,
yeah, I'd say
Muppet
the
thing got to sell off.
I'd say the merchandising, that if they do merchandising, is gonna be like the children and Jack and the robot,
Okay.
because those just making action figures seems to be like the better idea for this.
Fair enough. Oh. Let's see.
But yeah, it definitely is like a fun little show, but it's also, again, like I can't stress it enough. It is very much not your typical Star Wars thing. It is them doing their best to make a Star Wars show that is for the family, so that they, everyone can enjoy Star Wars at the same time. Incoming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's to get everybody a little taste so they get hooked on it. And depending on if people actually get, start watching, whether or not it's a success or not.
Like, I really
and it came out during the right time period.
I really do hope that it does well, but I don't have a lot of faith because Star Wars fandom has really been just dropping the ball on being willing to give things a chance lately.
Like I said, this one has all the opportunity it could possibly have, better than all the rest. It's literally coming out in December when kids are literally going to be out of school soon and got nothing else to do but watch TV. So there you go. Turn this on, watch it. It's coming out during Christmas time, so it has a lot going for it.
So essentially, we're hoping that Gen Alpha will be able to keep this one going.
If it fails, it just means that only the older generation is actually interested in Star Wars, and they won't bother making this again.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in all honesty,
because that would be the only way it fails.
Like, Star Wars is in that area right now where it's like, I'm pretty sure that all of the quote-unquote true fans actually want it to fail and stop.
I was gonna say, it depends on the age of the fans.
That's why I said quote-unquote, that's why I was saying quote-unquote true fans. I'm not talking about a general fan. I'm not talking about someone who can actually recognize that not everything is supposed to be liked by everyone. I'm talking about the quote-unquote fans. The people who bullied actors so much that actors nearly committed suicide.
Oh, the trolls.
Like...
Oh, the trolls. Yeah,
because
yeah.
those guys have been just making it to where it's like, if there was something that we enjoyed when we were kids, then we refuse to let any new generation do anything new with it. And it's like, I can understand that sentiment to a certain degree. That certain degree is like, I get that we need to stop getting remakes of things. I get that we do not need live-action prequel remakes of Lion King that completely just throw entire lore away.
That really did hurt you, didn't it?
But at the same time, you know what I'm gonna do when it comes to Mufasa?
Watch it.
Unless my youngest child says he wants to watch it, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah,
And that's okay.
yeah,
And thing that Disney needs to understand is that not everyone is gonna like everything they put out. So they don't need to cancel stuff just because some people didn't like it. Keep an eye on the viewership. If the viewership does well, which by the way, the Acolyte actually had better viewership than the Penguin, and the Penguin was considered a success. I know it's two different companies because we're talking Disney and HBO, but still, if people are gonna consider Penguin a success and it had less viewership than Acolyte, then I think Disney is being too hard on its products.
I would say Disney apparently has different standards than HBO for what's considered successful. Apparently, it didn't make the margin.
So
Either that or someone wanted too much money. We can't do this.
well, I'm gonna be honest with you. After hearing some of these actors, like one of them, the guy who played the Sith guy, the guy who played the Sith, he he's like saying that he wants to make it his life's goal to get that series completed.
Okay.
Which means that he probably is willing to take a pay cut in order to get it done.
Okay.
So I don't think it has anything to do with money. I think it's all because of online reactions. So I think maybe someone needs to kind of remind Disney. You know what? I think Disney, they might need to have they might need to cool it on their social media viewing, and maybe stay away from the comment section. You know,
they hired a whole department for that at this point. We know this.
but
There's
yeah.
nothing for people who actually scroll through this to figure out what people want.
But that's the thing. When it comes to online stuff, you're not actually going to get what people want. You're just gonna see what the loudmouths want.
I know. They figured out that this was cheaper than trying to do random samplings of making a product and showing it to a group of people and going, is this good enough to show? If not, we'll just shelve it somewhere and never see the light of day. They don't do that no more. Now they just put content out there, go look at comments, go, did this work? No, it didn't. Is that what you're saying? Okay, we'll go on to the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Oh
but
yeah.
I definitely do not think that they're doing themselves any favors by pandering so much to the to loudmouths on the internet, because most loudmouths are trolls, and that's all they do.
Yeah.
Like, you and I both enjoyed The Acolyte.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely recognize it was not the absolute best Star Wars thing ever, and it had some problems, but I also recognize it was season 1, and they were using a lot of people who did not have a ton of experience, but they all did their best, and I feel like they actually did a really good job.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that I feel that they could have done a little bit better on. I definitely feel like they wasted a few potentials, but that's the thing. Season 2 could have, because the later parts in season 1, they got Trinity in there doing stuff. I say Trinity because I don't remember her name right now.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But yeah, they did like those. Huh?
I was thinking about it, and I tried at one point comparing all the other shows and ranking them, and Is Acolyte last on my list, or is it actually somewhere in the middle? And I tried to think about it. I'm like, well, I think the one that I go is the best one that they did was the Mandalorian. Then I think, honestly, I think the second best one they did was Boba Fett because I just like Boba Fett. But apparently, it's not. It didn't do that well.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
most people with Boba Fett, they were really wanting to see, you know, the Boba Fett that we had been, that everyone had been like, basically, the Boba Fett from Legends is basically what they wanted.
yeah, the mean Boba Fett, the Boba Fett that just honestly, the Boba Fett that's pretty much the Chuck Norris of his universe.
And like I said, they wanted the Boba Fett from the Legends lore.
Yeah.
Like unfortunately, there are still so many people who are still like butthurt over the fact that the Legends lore, that all of that, all of the old lore is no longer lore, not understanding that it was never actually canon. Even when George Lucas had it, it was not canon. He has gone on record saying that. He said that he enjoyed it and he tried his best not to like make any of them not be allowed to be canon in their universe. But he has gone on record saying that they never were canon. And you know, you just have so many people who are still butthurt about the fact that they blame Disney for making them not canon, and it's like, again, they never were canon. You know?
Well, I do remember at one point where George Lucas just didn't care and went, "Sure, make your own stuff. I don't give a damn."
That's basically what I'm saying. Like, George Lucas said that he was fine with it, and he did his best not to contradict them.
Yeah.
You know, like
He just literally told everybody, "Go f yourselves. We got to actually make product with this, and we can't even pander to all of this.
I mean,
All of this is too
like
much."
basically Disney is the one that actually decided to make that decision. George
Yes.
Lucas never made that decision. Like I said, George Lucas was actively trying to not contradict any of the Legends lore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he had gone on record saying it was never canon. Like he had never said it was canon. People just assumed that since he never said it wasn't canon, that meant it was canon. That's not how it works, people.
Yes, when people start writing all their fan fictions and their articles, I'm not gonna tell you no, but I didn't say yes. You can make up all the stories you want,
Like,
but
he was,
if I didn't write it, it's not canon.
yeah, like he was very nice about the fact that he would do his best not to contradict it. Like, just
Yeah,
the mere
he was-
fact that there are so many crap Star Wars novels out there,
Mm-hmm.
and he did his best to do everything he could to not contradict them.
Yeah,
I
he actually
mean,
worked
that's
around.
like really nice.
Yeah, he went the extra mile. Disney went, no,
And
we're not.
Disney just said we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not gonna, pussyfoot around this. No, we're gonna tell you that this stuff ain't canon at all, and we're gonna make our own stuff, and it's gonna be canon, the official stuff.
And whereas I did enjoy watching the sequel trilogy, you and I have talked before about like a lot of things when it comes to the sequel trilogy that they really should have done different.
There are so many drop balls. There's
Like
too many drop balls. I'm sorry.
the, you know, Rise of Skywalker. Like I said, I enjoyed watching it. I enjoy all of the music videos that people do with it,
Uh-huh.
but they just destroyed so much work that they could have done with some of these characters with that one.
Yep.
COMG incoming.
And I don't know why.
We already talked about that last time. Too many cooks.
Headshot.
When you have so many directors going back and forth, you just sit there and go, who had the direction for this trilogy? Anyone? Bueller?
I want to say
No?
at best, J.J. Abrams had the most direction for it. But yeah,
I was gonna say, did
it is just one of those things where it's just
no one person was guiding this ship all the way through?
you know.
And that's a problem. That's a true problem. How did you do this? That's why this is a disjointed mess.
Headshot.
Honestly, after sequels, I'll be honest, I liked the first one. Second one, not so much. Third one,
I was mostly okay with the second one. I do feel like they did a few things that didn't entirely make sense, but I was okay with the second one. The third one is the one where it's like I watched it the first time and I did enjoy it when watching it the first time.
uh-huh.
Because you and I have the tendency to always enjoy watching the movie for the ride. It's when we overanalyze it that we start finding all the
Yeah,
flaws.
the more you analyze something, the more it sucks.
Yeah.
And honestly, I remember back when I overanalyzed the prequels, and I went, "Why did you do this way?" But now that I have these sequels to compare the original to, I'm like, the prequels weren't that bad. Still awful, not that bad.
Yeah, I'd say
Headshot.
like the prequels, I've talked about it with you a lot, and I'm still kind of planning on working on something that's essentially going to be my spiritual rewrite of the prequels. Like, it's
So
that
you be
whole thing of
for the
just
point, right?
it's that whole thing of like, I don't want the prequels not to exist. I do enjoy them, but
Yeah.
because I've constantly like looked at them and pointed out problems with them,
Yeah.
I
you
feel
recognize
like
that
I
they had issues.
should. I like look at all these things and I'm just like, why don't I just write my own story and put these things that I've come up with as my story? So it's like when I say spiritual rewrite, it's like it's not gonna be Star Wars, you know, but it's going to take all of the things that I have thought of because of watching the prequels and over analyzing the prequels. So it's like I'm not going to copy Star Wars. I'm not going to, you know, rip off Star Wars. I'm going to create my own thing. I mean, I've already started working on stuff on it. It's going to be my own thing, but it's like, you know, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing in it are ideas that I came up with while over analyzing Star Wars, over analyzing the prequels and being like, this would have been a better way to do this, and this would have been a better way to do that, you know?
Yep.
But I'm not gonna have, you know, lightsaber duels and star battles and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, one of the things that I like to compare it to is, oh yes, a book series. I think it's the Aragon book series.
Yeah.
And I realized at one point after reading the first book, like, this is a Star Wars. This is a Star Wars with dragons instead of lightsabers. This is just Star Wars. You literally have the uncle who, you know, who used to be a knight. Just mark off Jedi and put dragon. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And oh look, you have a dragon.
Yeah.
Mark off Force, put dragon. Oh look, just insert this word. Like, oh god, this is a whole book series now. They pulled the Star Wars.
I mean, like, that's essentially what I'm looking at, where it's just
Down
like
to the message.
coming up with my own little thing, you know. But
Hey,
essentially
it
Star
worked
Wars
wonders.
inspired me, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it can work wonders. Like I said, Aragon proved it.
So yeah.
But yeah, like I said, when I compared the sequels and analyzed them, I was just like, first one, all right, it's pretty much A New Hope, copy and paste.
Yeah, just a bigger Death Star.
The most unique thing about the first one was Finn. That was it.
Yeah.
Finn as a character was the only new thing they put in there
I
compared to the old.
really wish that they had done Finn a lot better.
Yes, and that's why when I look at everything and I go, okay, we have Finn in the first movie, so much promise. Finn in the second movie, what happened with that promise? Did you literally take away scenes from him with other characters? You did. Okay, Finn in the third movie. Why was Finn along for this ride?
Finn in the third movie.
Why was
I was
Finn along for
so disappointed in what they did to Finn in the third movie. That's why I say the third movie is the one that I'm most disappointed in. Like, I know a lot of people really don't like The Last Jedi, but I actually did kind of like Last Jedi. The thing that I didn't like was Rise of Skywalker and how they did Finn, because I feel like they really could have done Finn better. There was no reason, especially after Last Jedi, because after Last Jedi, literally there was no reason to have Finn continue to be fully obsessed with Rey. For one, he wasn't fully obsessed with Rey to begin with.
Yep.
Like, quite literally, it was just like something that it seemed like they decided he was going to do in that last movie. Because, like, even in the second one, like, yeah, he was trying to make sure that that Rey was able to find them and whatnot.
In the second movie, he had another romantic interest.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the second movie, they quite literally gave him a romantic interest. And then in the third movie, gone.
Again, this is all because of too many cooks. You had one person make the beginning, the same person make the end, and someone else make the middle.
Well, that's the thing. The end was not really made by the same person as the beginning, because he only took over after someone quit.
So there's a fourth person, or technically third person.
Yeah, there were 3 people, and one of them quit halfway through. And we know what happens to movies when the original director quits halfway through. People try to do what they can with what is already shot.
Yeah.
But they have their own idea of what they're gonna do.
The story's still gonna go in the direction of the person who's in charge. And he took it over and went, okay, I can save some of these scenes. I can put them in, they're filler, but my story's gonna be different.
So, like,
for all we know.
Yeah, we literally have no idea. Like, Emperor Palpatine might not have even been on the radar for the last movie, for the original last movie.
I still love the fact of what happened to the Smoke character. Oh yeah, they killed him. What? Yeah, they killed it. So he wasn't a bit. Not really. He wasn't a bit bad. What was his point? What was all the intrigue in the first one?
I just love like they decided to let him to have him be a turncoat and then immediately killed him or something like I forget. I watched that movie once. That's how much I really didn't care for it after I thought about it. I should probably watch it again just to give it a second shot. Like I said, I watched it the first time and I didn't mind it. I thought I was fine with it, and I was like wondering why so many people were upset with it. And then, like you and I started talking about it, I'm like, oh wow, that's actually really stupid. Why? No wonder people are upset with it.
Yeah, yeah. The more you analyze, the dumber it gets. And I have watched the first and second one twice. I didn't bother watching the third one twice. I watched the third one once.
I think you and I need to watch the third one again because that means both of us have only watched the third one once. Which means we haven't actually given the third one a second chance after we overanalyzed it. And usually we are really good about making sure to give things a chance after we've overanalyzed them. So I think maybe we should give it a shot again just to see if maybe some of the things that we've been like, it's stupid that they didn't do this, like maybe they actually did do that and we just forgot because we were just analyzing these things and just we're just kind of on our own high horse,
And like I said, I know how I feel. Two, it's the third one where I'm just like, okay, I'm already upset from the because of how things turned out with the first two, and then the third one I'm just like, and
that's what I'm saying is like neither of us actually gave the third one a second shot. I didn't even realize that until right now because I knew I hadn't given the second one or the third one a second shot. But I didn't know you hadn't either.
The third one is so long.
It really is.
It's the longest one of all of them.
And the reason for that is because it had two directors trying to do two different things.
They shoved two movies together and called it a day.
Pretty much.
Again, part of the reason why I go, I remember what the third one did, and it didn't do anything to actually help with the characters that I did like. So maybe that's my tainting of it.
Yeah.
And the character that I was like, okay, did this character, is this a good character? I'm like, I don't think this makes the character better. I'm not sure this is really an arc. Is this an arc? Is this a satisfying ending?
Yeah.
And my answer was no.
I think you and I
My answer was just no.
I mean, for one, you and I definitely need to do just like a full rewatch of all the Star Wars, just in general, because like I haven't gotten a chance to do that with anyone in a really long time because, in all honesty, the people that I was married to at different points, one of them really did not like Star Wars at all. And the other one...
Yeah.
The other one was fine with Star Wars, but definitely was not, like, super fan. Like, they had the ability to get enough. Us having this long a conversation, because, like, we've been talking for, like, 2 hours at this point, right? And, yeah, we kind of started on Kingdom Hearts a bit, but we've been talking Star Wars most of this time. They would not have been able to do this.
Yeah, it's Star Wars. It has literally 9 movies. You've been talking about it at this point for quite a long time. When something has about 9 movies, you there go. Yeah, that's a lot of conversation you can have.
That's 9 That's 9 sequential movies too. We're not talking about Rogue One if we're doing that, or the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, we didn't insert any of those.
I feel like there's another one. Was there another one? There was Solo and Rogue One. I feel like there was another one.
Trying to remember right quick. I think that's technically it. Because I think the Han Solo movie pretty much killed off any other
Seriously?
plans for other movies like that.
Oh man, that was at round 95. I was hoping to make it to 100. I was not
I
paying
think the Han
attention. I
Solo
was looking.
movie actually killed off the.
Okay, do we want to count Clone Wars?
I don't count Clone Wars because it's
It was a movie that happened during, like, essentially it's a movie that sort of kick-started the Clone Wars animated show.
Yeah, that's why I don't really count it because I'm like, all right, I'll count it towards the TV shows. More than likely, I'll be honest.
I mean, it is a
But I
film.
don't really,
Like, I'm not talking
but
about
I
the
don't
show,
really
the
count it in
series. It is a film. It's
Yeah,
just
but I
not a
don't
live
really-
action film.
Yeah, I think mostly because it's not live action that I don't count it in my brain.
Are you gonna
It's just
count
not
the Ewok Adventures?
No, it's like counting the Christmas special. I don't count either one of those.
So yeah, Solo and Rogue One are the only ones that I saw
Yeah.
on the list here.
Like I said, because of Solo. Well, technically, I think it was mostly because of Last Jedi. 'Cause honestly, I watched Solo. It wasn't that bad.
Well,
As a
Solo
standalone, it's
had
not.
the problem of trolls on the internet deciding it wasn't gonna do well before it even came out. And that's the thing that I really wish
Solo
we
had
could
the problem
stop.
that people boycotted it. That's what Solo
That's
had.
what I said. It had the trolls on the internet deciding it was gonna fail before it even released. I don't even
I don't
remember
consider that
why they
trolls.
decided that.
I consider that just a normal fan base. They're not just the trolls.
Well-
The trolls bashed it, yes, but the normal fan base just went. They're not watching another Star Wars movie.
But that's
That's what hurt it.
That's the thing that I keep on talking about with the true fans thing. You know?
Cause yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing that I keep on
Yeah,
talking
you-
about when
you
I
can-
say true fans, or not true fans,
That's a movie
the
online,
quote
but
unquote
if you-
true fans. You know, that's what I keep on talking about, the quote unquote true fans, the people who basically decide stuff even before watching it. Like, about 80% of the people who bashed The Acolyte didn't even watch it. And you could tell which part of them, like when you look at the comments, you could tell who they were, because there were people who did not like The Acolyte. Okay, I'm not saying that okay, but you could tell the difference between the people who actually gave it a shot and the quote unquote real fans, because the real fans
Just give me a target.
who just decided that it sucked would basically just trash it without giving a reason other than it's got bad acting, and that's like their go-to reason. They don't give any examples of the bad acting. They don't give any examples of bad story writing. You know, they don't do anything. But then you had the people who actually did not like it, and they actually would say what they didn't like about it. So it's like, those people I respect. Like, yeah, give your opinion, it's fine. But at the same time, don't trounce on other people's opinions. You know? Like, it's completely fine for you not to like the show. I'm not saying that you have to like everything I like. Will and I have a tendency to really like a lot of things that a lot of people don't like.
Oh, I'm honest. I like bad movies. If a movie's bad enough, I will actually buy it. I remember. I think I still do.
But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just in general. We're a lot more forgiving with movies, just in general. Like, movies that get trashed and stuff, we'll like watch and be like, I don't know why people had an issue with it. There are plenty of movies that are bad that we do just love because they're bad.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I have a weird taste. There's a few movies that people go, yeah, these are historically awful movies, and I go, yeah, that's why I keep them. They're that awful that I have to keep them for posterity and go, hey kids, you want to watch Zoom?
Yeah. Oh, I hated that movie.
It's so awful. It loops back to good.
So, okay, so off topic, but slightly on topic. It's off topic because it's not about Star Wars or Skeleton Crew. It's on topic because it's about Zoom. So, you know, watching My Hero and whatnot, right?
Oh my god.
You see like the characters who have like relatively inconsequential powers that they figure out how to make really awesome.
Yup.
Okay, like it's and it just occurred to me when you brought up Zoom that he is kind of the original person to do that, because quite literally his power was vibration.
Yep.
And he figured out how to make it give him super speed.
Yep.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
That is literally taking a stupid power and making it amazing.
Yes.
Like, I don't know why that just came to me right then. Just thinking about
movies.
that.
Yeah, that is a movie where you can go, yeah, that movie fits in the Quirk universe so well that it's kind of funny. Like, you almost want to go, did someone just watch this movie and went, you know what? What if I made a school for these? Yeah, there we go. There we go. And made the whole society based on it. There we go. There we go. We're building the world here. Of course, I can also say that they watched that movie and then watched Sky High and went, let's make this happen.
The double feature, Zoom, Sky High.
That's right.
Oh. If that were the case, it was more likely like they watched Zoom and they were like, okay, I can't leave this bad taste in my mouth when it comes to underage superheroes. Can we watch something good? And then they watch Sky High and they're like, thank you. I loved Sky High.
Now that is the movie that I'm just like, that was shit. Gotta see. Like, they didn't do well. Like, I know all these people who were pretty much, you know.
Sky High, I'm pretty sure Sky High did really well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the people who were in it did fairly well at the time. I'm like, what happened to the sequel? Like, it should have been a no-brainer at the time.
I mean, it's very possible that they just decided not to do a sequel.
Fair. Sometimes they want to go. It's just the one.
Apparently,
It's
there
not.
was a sequel planned for coming up. It's in like the next year or something, but it apparently got canceled.
I'll be honest. At
Like,
this point, I call it too late.
Everyone was on board.
I was gonna say at this point, I'm like a little too late. It's been how many years at this point? 10.
Dude, think about everything that's been coming out lately. It's either a remake or it's a sequel of a movie that's super old.
Fair.
And
When
most of the time when it's a sequel of a movie that's super old, it's been very disappointing because it's like
that's kind of what I feel like is gonna probably happen with Gladiator 2.
well, Gladiator 2, the way that they did that one is a little different than the way that they've done a lot of these other ones. Because these other ones are like for instance Bill and Ted, right?
Yeah. I'll be honest. I liked that last Bill and Ted movie. It looked like they had fun making it.
Yeah, I will say that it was I enjoyed it to a certain degree. But the thing that I didn't like about it is the fact that it's like at the end of Bogus Journey, it was like that they were good, and it's like I hate it when movies do that, when a sequel comes out and it does that thing where it's like, we're gonna do a thing that we are not gonna put on camera, we're just going to say this is what happens after you see your hero from the last movie in a slump. Because they want it to be the exact same people that they were working with instead of the people that the last movie grew them to be. And yes. Bill and Ted did that.
Yes.
And that's why I'm, not like super happy about that one. Like I said, I did enjoy watching it to a certain degree, but there was always that thing in the back of my mind just being like,
continuity wise,
it's like, so disappointing. And it was a huge trend with all of these sequel movies to do this, basically saying everyone of that generation failed, so obviously we need to make sure that their heroes also failed. Because there should be no success for that generation. Everyone should know they failed. That's basically how it feels to me.
Oh, wow, dude. Oh, wow. I didn't even think about it like that. I just went with the whole fact of, okay, they wanted to make another movie. They retconned their own story. You know what? Fine. It's fine. It's a timey-wimey story. Whatever. They do what they want, and oh look, they're having fun with the movie.
But yeah.
And it's Bill and Ted. It I'll be honest, Bill and Ted, I never tried to make it make sense.
I mean, like I said, it was mainly just that whole thing of just like, it was disappointing that they decided to do that. Because it's like it's a very big trend that tends to happen with sequels. It even happened with like closer sequels. Like if you go back and you look at, like, for instance, Indiana Jones,
Okay, which of those?
I mean, like, every single Indiana Jones, he's not with the girl that he was with at the end of the last one. Until they did Crystal Kingdom, and they put them together. Again, they put Marion and him back together. And then they did the sequel to that one, and they took them apart again. And then at the end of that one, they put them back together. And it's just like, Are they gonna? It's the video game that they released recently going to be a continuation, and they're not gonna be together again?
You know the formula for Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones has to be alone at the beginning in order to get his romantic interest. Even though at this point he's what 70,
Like,
80.
like when I played the Uncharted games, I thought that they were gonna wind up doing the same thing with those. I was so happy when they did not do that. Like the first one, he gets with the girl. The second one, you find out that he did something to screw things up, right?
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
she still comes in the second one, and then they get back together. And then in the third one, they're still together. You know?
Okay.
Like, they're still together in the third one, and it's really cute. And same thing with the fourth one. No, the fourth one, they were still together. It's just, the fourth one, you're constantly thinking that he is going to get his ass dumped because he's doing this. And then when she finally comes in, you change your mind. You're like, oh, he's not gonna get his ass dumped. He's gonna get his ass kicked. Because when she finally comes in, she is so pissed off that he had not talked to her about this stuff and about what he was going through. And it's just like, for real, we're together. Come on, man. Stop being a moron. If you're having some antsy feelings, of course I'm gonna let you fucking do this.
But yeah,
I love that character. She is a wonderful character, and like most of the time, it's like you see the people get with these people, and you're like, oh, she seemed interesting at first, but now that they're together, she's trying to change everything about him. With her, it wasn't like that.
Gotcha.
And that was wonderful.
Oh, but yeah.
I love how we got off topic again.
Oh yeah, that's how the show goes.
It really is.
That's always. Yeah.
If the name Distractable wasn't already taken, we could do that one, but unfortunately, Mark and friends
But
have
yeah,
that.
but yeah, when I'm ranking Star Wars stuff, at least the spin-offs, I'm trying to figure out is Acolyte in or at the bottom, and I'm like, okay, do I like Ahsoka more than Acolyte?
Oh, I love Ahsoka.
Yeah, I'm like, yes. So far, Acolyte's just slowly trailing down. I'm like, do I like what was that one called that
Alright, I'm about to pull up. That's not what I wanted. List of Star Wars television series. Here we are.
Are we going with just live action ones?
Here, let's just go with live action. Alright, so we got The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, Ahsoka, The Acolyte, and Skeleton Crew.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. I do enjoy Skeleton Crew so far. But as of right now, I'm gonna say at this point, it would be tied with The Acolyte.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the rest of these. The Book of Boba Fett is the only one that I would put close to the bottom. So it's like...
Okay.
It's like, I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as Obi-Wan. I didn't enjoy it as much as Mandalorian. I didn't enjoy it as much as Andor. And I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as Ahsoka. Honestly, for me, I think Ahsoka's at number one.
Okay. So Ahsoka's number one, and what, Acolyte's number two?
Oh, no, Acolyte's... Like, I enjoyed Acolyte, but it's definitely near the bottom, if not at the bottom, for me.
Yeah. When I did the comparison in my own Acolyte's at the bottom. I haven't watched, Skeleton Crew, but Acolyte's at the bottom. I understand if it's at the bottom, why it's
all right.
gone.
Let's do it like this. Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett.
All right. Between
Just
those two.
between those two.
All right, gonna go with Mandalorian.
All right. Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Gotta go with Boba Fett.
All right. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor.
I'm gonna go with. Honestly, I think it was. That's actually a good point. Wow, that one's actually tied up for different reasons.
All right. Kenobi or Ahsoka?
Ahsoka.
All right. Ahsoka or Book of Boba Fett?
I think Ahsoka.
All right. Ahsoka and Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
All right. Andor and the Acolyte.
Andor.
Acolyte. Well, you haven't seen Skeleton Crew yet, so yeah.
Yeah,
Acolyte is definitely at your bottom,
Okay.
and then above Acolyte for you is Andor, tied with Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Okay.
and then I believe the Book of Boba Fett comes next,
Okay.
then Ahsoka, then Mandalorian.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
So for me, it's Ahsoka, Mandalorian. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Andor are still tied for me, just like with you, but I put them above Book of Boba Fett.
Okay.
And I put Book of Boba Fett above the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. When we're looking at these lists, I kind of see why Acolyte didn't meet up to their standards, because we had ties, but Acolyte is still
Oh shoot! my
at
chat
our
thing
bottom
messed up.
rung.
Yeah, but we're also saying that we still enjoyed it.
Yeah, we still enjoyed it.
Most people are just
Still
saying.
enjoyed
Most people just say that it's crap, or not most people. I'm sorry, not most people. The haters just say that it's crap. There are plenty of other fans who are pretty much like us, where they enjoyed it, but it was definitely not their favorite series.
Yeah. So yeah,
And that's like 100% fair, because like you and I
Yeah.
just went over this, and
yeah. Compared
it's not
to the
even
rest,
it's compared to the rest, it's right there at the bottom. Skeleton Crew for me can go either way at this point. Like Ahsoka
Yeah, the
had some
series-
badass lightsaber fights, and it
Yeah,
had a
of
really
course.
cool villain.
Yeah.
So like there are ways that it can get ahead of Skeleton Crew, but when you look at episode 3 of the Acolyte and episode 3 of Skeleton Crew, 1 through 3, currently they're tied. So as it moves on, I will be able to say, and like I told you, more than likely we're gonna just be doing this for our talks until the Skeleton Crew is over, and then we'll come up with something else to talk about.
All right, fine with me. But yeah, at this point, Skeleton Crew, it has all the opportunity to do well. It just needs to stick to landing, and if it does, it has the opportunity of getting nice views, because this is the time of the year of kids being at home, and it's kid friendly. It's literally kid friendly. That's the point of the show.
Yeah.
So if it fails, you got to go with either A, kids of this generation not really that into Star Wars, which is fair.
I haven't even looked at comments about Skeleton Crew yet. To be fair, like I haven't seen anything pop up on my Instagram feed about Skeleton Crew other than this one influencer girl, Magic by Michaela.
Uh-huh.
She talked about it a little bit. She got to meet the kids involved in it
Okay.
and whatnot. She talked about it a little bit. But yeah, aside from her talking about it a little bit, I don't think I've seen much pop up from Skeleton Crew on my feed.
I don't think you would, because it's a kids show.
Well, that's the thing. I have Disney Plus is one of the ones that I follow on Instagram. So, like when the Acolyte was going, they did all sorts of stuff trying to build that up, and just constantly got fed hatred from all the haters.
Again, like I said, that's different. That's an adult show. This one's a kids show. If haters gonna hop on this to hate on it, you just sit there and go, this is hilarious. You're watching a baby show.
It's not a baby show. They actually do have a Star Wars show for children and like for toddlers.
Yeah, a toddler Star Wars show.
Yeah, it's so I'm gonna tell you what it is, okay? And I'm also gonna tell you one of the memes. It'll be very easy to understand why it's a meme after I tell you certain things about it. Okay. So the show for children is a bunch of shorts. So like I think at most they're like 5-10 minutes, you know?
Okay, so short attention span, got it. All right.
It's called Young Jedi Adventures. Okay?
Oh God. Please don't tell me it's just
So
the Jedi's as babies.
No. So the show itself is decent. It's like a Spidey and Friends style animation, Spidey and Friends sort of type of learning and whatnot, where you learn to do stuff with a team, you learn how to get along with each other, all that type of stuff. It's it's for children. It's for children, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So now I'm gonna tell you the timeline for it, or rather, I'm gonna tell you who their teacher is.
Okay.
Yoda's in this show.
So Yoda's the teacher, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Tell me why that makes it meme worthy. If you can't think of it, I will tell you.
Go ahead and tell me.
If Yoda is their teacher, that means that the Jedi Academy is still there. And we're talking about younglings during the time. Huh? Okay. You don't have to whisper. You don't have to whisper. I try and like do all of them too. But yeah, I was doing that one because I like that one because it sorry, Solar just came in and because he's like obsessed with Bloons Tower Defense.
Don't.
And you should own it, man. Own it.
No, don't.
Own it.
Is there presents in here? I'm trying to get a blanket.
Not your presents. Your presents are in boxes. But yeah, he was telling me a path for thing.
I know a lot about this game.
All right.
But yeah, so yeah, since Yoda is in charge, that means that all of this takes place either just before the Clone Wars or during the Clone Wars, which means at some point in time, basically the meme is, Young Jedi Adventures. I think I know how this is gonna end, and then it shows Anakin Skywalker with his lightsaber.
I knew it. I knew it as soon as you were saying it. I was just like,
Okay.
the younglings.
But yeah. That's the thing.
Honestly, I am surprised that they actually haven't done that though. An actual show that would be based on two younglings trying to escape and survive.
Um, they haven't done a show for that, but they've done like
Yeah,
the
they haven't
aftermath.
done a show.
For instance, Kanan was the youngling that snipe, not snipe,
Mm-hmm.
snipe. Is his name Sniper? No, snipe. No, what's his name? You know who I'm talking about with the Bad Batch.
yes, yes, I know who you're talking about.
Trying to, what's his name? I can't remember.
I want to say sniper. I want to say sniper because the names were like actual positions. You had Tech, Sniper. Ritz was the most original name. Wrecker, still technically a position.
Let's see. Tech, Echo, Hunter, Wrecker, Crosshair.
Crosshair, that's what his name was.
Yeah, like Kanan was the guy that Crosshair almost killed. Was the Padawan that Crosshair almost killed.
Gotcha.
And then of course the games, Jedi Fallen Order. Those follow a guy who managed to escape Order 66 as a Padawan.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, Grogu managed to escape Order 66, only we don't know exactly how yet.
I would say they showed us. They showed us already.
I don't think they showed
But they
us
showed us the beginning of it.
Yeah, they showed us the beginning. They didn't show us the full thing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I want to say there's more that managed to escape Order 66, but I don't think they've actually done like a show or a movie that specifically just follows.
Yeah, they haven't done that, and I'm like, that was a missed opportunity. Could have done that.
To be fair, they still can do it.
Yeah, technically they
I
can.
mean, it's not like they're done making animated series.
That's true. That's true. And they can make animated series of any time period, so it don't matter when that is.
Yeah, especially since the animated series seem to be the only ones that avoid the true fans' hatred. Anyways, it is almost 9:30, so I think I will finish up this map so that there's some closure here. And then we will go ahead and stop for tonight. I'm Serious Star. You can find me on social medias. I'm on X, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. For as long as TikTok is still here, I mean, I'm not doing too much on it, but it's still kind of sad that apparently it's being banned. Like, it's also stupid that it's being banned for basically doing not even as much harm as Facebook and X have done. But because it's controlled by another country, or rather it's owned by another country, and Facebook and X are owned by, white Americans,
Yeah, it's an American businesses.
dipshits.
American businesses literally paid off the government to go, no, you don't have this. We gotta cut this off. That's all that is.
So it managed to escape that, but TikTok is being banned. And I've heard mixed things on the ban. Like some of the
Oh,
things
yeah.
that I've heard is like the ban is not gonna be like a full ban. It's gonna be like certain things. And I've also heard that it's just gonna be a full ban. So guess we'll find out in January.
I was gonna say we'll know when it happens. It won't really affect me because I'm not on TikTok.
It'll affect
So,
me a little bit because I do enjoy watching TikToks.
hey, you got
And
YouTube Shorts.
I've wanted to get good at doing that stuff, but I never managed to get that good at doing it. I kept on. My main thing is like I started getting good at it like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago at this point, and I was like confident because like I wasn't using my actual face because for some reason I have issues with my face on camera. And but I had like this app that, you know, I could do these little funny faces on, and I could play around with funny voices and stuff, and I kind of came up with my own little characters for each of the faces that I was using, and each of them would do their own little update on TikTok and whatnot. And I just had a lot of fun doing it, and then something happened with that app, and I couldn't access my faces anymore. And I tried to look at the TikTok possible options, but I could never find any that were as good. So it's just so I wound up never managing to recover. Like
Oh, there you go.
I tried, and I still like every now and then I'll post something trying. I think I do my best with our podcast stuff just because of the fact that I can just take stuff from the recordings and be like, this was funny, I'm gonna put this here. But yeah. Anyways, you can also go to my website seriostar.com, and you can find some short stories that I've written, some blog posts. I think there's a couple of reviews on there, but more importantly, you can go buy my books, and you know, for the low price of like 1,000 copies, I might be able to actually do this type of thing for a living and get better at it. So, you know, just something to think about, food for thought, people, you know.
That's right. Only 1,000 copies.
Yeah, it's not that much. It's like $10,000. 5,000 if you get e-copies.
Oh my god. That's awesome. Oh my god, I didn't realize that.
Oh, anyway. I'll be back on Saturday with some stuff. And then Will be back with me next Monday, where we'll
Yep.
talk about the next episode of Skeleton Crew and see if it starts going uphill or not. Or so I stream on the weekends 7 to 10 in the morning, and then we do this at 7 to 9:30 in the evenings on Mondays. So anyways, we'll talk to you later. Oh yeah, I upload these things to YouTube. Almost forgot that part. But yeah, so if you missed something and you want to see it or listen to it, just go to YouTube.
There you go.
All right, bye.
See you guys.